I know that for us, giving is a very important part of our lives. Personally, from the time that I became a Christian, God impressed upon my heart the importance of giving. And I've always said the most important thing that you can give is yourself. But if you take that a step further, giving is more than what you do. Giving is part of who you are. And God freely gives us gifts. And we become recipients of them, but we're not supposed to hoard them. We're supposed to give those things away. So what we actually wind up doing is we are giving away what God has given us. And this doesn't just include tithes and offerings. It's giving. We don't give to get. We give to give. God impressed that in my heart from a very young, early age as a Christian when I was 20 years old. And I learned very quickly that I could not outgive him. I gave and it would come back. And I continued to give. And it's become a pattern in my life.
We both have seen, Jim and I, throughout our married lives, as we've been faithful to tithe, God has poured back into our lives, not just financially, but friendships and abundance. At one point early on in our marriage, we started to begin to even give above and beyond the actual 10%. And we've seen such benefit from that in our lives. If nothing else, just the satisfaction of knowing that we're blessing somebody else that's been in need, or blessing a ministry.
We received quite a surprise just recently. This year, we have given the most that we've ever given. And I'm not talking about a dollar value. I'm talking about of our time, our resources, and our monies. And we paid a lot of taxes this year, or this past year. And we were quite surprised when we got a complete refund from the federal government a few weeks ago. We actually got back more money than we paid in federal income taxes. And that has never happened before.
Never.
And I know that it's significant because of what God is doing in our lives.
We feel it's a direct result of a generous gift that we gave to the church back in November to meet a specific need. And we just didn't even give it a thought in November. And then when we heard from our tax lady that we were going to get a full refund from the estimated taxes we had paid out to the federal government, we were just blown away. And that's, to me, that's how God works. We don't give to get. It's not this feeling like, oh, we're going to give all this money, so we're going to get it back in return from God. That's not the motivation, or that's not the mentality. It's the idea of He's a generous God. And when you become generous like He is, you get back so much, and it shall be given to you, pressed down, shaken together, and overflowing. Will God pour back into your bosom. So, it works.
Yes, and I think in closing, it's a matter of the heart. We give because His Word says, and God honors His Word. And when we live by those principles, it changes our heart. And then, as it establishes itself in our lives, it becomes, like I referred to earlier, a lifestyle. It's not what you do, it's who you are. And giving for us is part of who we are.